This Sunday. Every Sunday. Side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here! Relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gas, mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes Pit Pass. Sunday!
Got a co-host who's racking his brains. He's hearing some funky music, and he's wondering, what the heck is going on Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only fully vetted automotive talk show here on the island with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer, who is, I see the brain matter turning and boiling and saying, what the heck, I know that. Oh, but it keeps going. Oh, yeah, dig that, man, right? Come on, you're a child. This is actually from the 80s. So anyway.
I'm thinking the TV show Fish.
You are amazing, my friend. That is exactly right. That is the kind of not a Barney Miller spinoff, because it was a character spinoff. That is Fish. Yes, when I finished my Barney Miller boxed set, I included this CD from 2 seasons of Fish. And the first time I heard that opening song, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And the one they used at the end of the show, which was a little different, I thought was even better.
Really? So
I figured I would share it because that to me.
Thank you. You just stretched the wrinkles out of my brain. Nobody would know the answer to that.
I'm impressed that you did. I really am, because I never remember. I didn't watch the show when it was new. I might have, I don't know, but I certainly didn't remember the theme song.
I haven't heard that tune it's got to be since the show was on. I watched it. It was one of those programs, because I was a big Barney Miller fan, as like you were.
Right.
So of course the spinoff was something to watch as well. So yeah, I watched Fish. I thought it was okay, but I literally I don't think I've heard that tune in many years.
Watch old TV. Watch weird, obscure car shows. Listen to them on the radio, and you get a lot of stuff.
Right, and then you're a perfect candidate to listen to this program.
Exactly. So I got some really cool topics this week to talk to you about.
Really? Oh my God! All right, let me sit back in the chair. I gotta actually listen here.
Are you familiar with the Waymo cars that run all around San Francisco and California?
Are they the ones that are the 4 doors? They're all beaten up. They're dragging the butts, and the trunks are collapsed.
No, these are new cars. They're fully autonomous, self-driving vehicles. And you get in like an Uber, and you tell it, hey, Waymo, I want to go to, and it'll take you. So, and they're fully autonomous. So they use them over there. They were planning on bringing some to New York City.
Oh, good luck with that.
Right. And as of right now, I mean, there's cameras everywhere. It looks like a cop car that has plate readers on steroids. They're on the front fenders, the rear, the roof, everywhere. There's cameras everywhere, because this car has to fully, navigate. So right. People in San Francisco have been complaining that the Waymo's, the once polite driving style, has now become an aggressive New York taxi driver style. Right?
Its ability to learn has
no, it's not that.
Garnished questionable results.
It's not that. They said basically now the cars are kind of weaving through tunnels, cutting around cars in a
that.
zigzag pattern, rolling stop signs, and squeezing past other cars in traffic, where before they drove like you. Listen, you know what? I got to admit, I've been doing some driving this week. I've been driving like you. I put myself in the middle lane with the cruise on, and I just stay there. The guys zipping by me at 100. I'm like, go on. I don't care.
Congratulations, you're officially old.
Yeah, I get it. So anyway, in September, a Waymo got pulled over for making an illegal U-turn in San Bruno, California.
Really? How does it get pulled over if it's autonomous?
It knows. It recognizes lights and so it pulls over.
Really?
And the police officer was able to question the car.
Oh, come on.
And when questioned, the car replied that they would look into it, like why they made a U-turn at this point. And the car was really, really apologetic, the police officer said. So the senior director of product development, Chris Ludwig, he said the company has wired the cars now to be more aggressive. So they didn't self-learn. They were in a pattern and that was it. But they went in and changed it due to the passiveness that people were complaining about. And it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Some riders said they feel the difference. Pacific Heights resident Jennifer Jeffries, she's logged over 3,000 minutes in these cars. She told the Journal of Cars that now they maneuver as well as Uber drivers,
All right.
Getting closer to other vehicles and all that crazy stuff. It's wild. So sometimes she says, I'll be in the back seat and I'll be like, ooh, that was really close. So I guess like you would do in a New York City cab, right?
Sure.
But others say that the newfound aggression can be jarring, including this guy, Mark Scheiberg, who told the Journal that a Waymo began accelerating through a crosswalk too soon as people were crossing in front of it. And he says, I was really, taken off guard. So Waymo didn't respond for an answer about that. But so that's what's going on with the autonomous cars. Carl Anthony, he talked about autonomous cars with us many years ago. It's rider beware, I would say.
I would say definitely get your lawyer's number on speed dial.
Yeah.
Just in case you get bounced out of the crosswalk by some errant Waymo autonomous vehicle.
Yeah, and we know you have us on speed dial. 516-572-7440 will get you in, and you can also text us at
203-670-4127. That will get you right here on my desk du jour here.
And of course, check us on social media, Motormouth Radio on Facebook and X, and real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram, and on YouTube, Motormouth Radio and Motormouth Video, where last week's videos with Larry Montanez from, I don't even know where he was from.
Originally from Brooklyn.
yeah, and living back in Brooklyn. Larry kind of blew us up with the, because he had great content. So try and show us some love like you showed Larry. Watch the videos, like them, comment. I'd love to see some comments. We get a couple. Keith is our best commenter, and I think Joe Undertaker has been chiming in a little bit too. But
that's good.
Some new stuff. So
definitely. Well, yeah. So how was your week automotively?
I got to tell you. All right, I have to fall on the sword today.
Uh-oh.
After we answer the phone, I think.
Okay.
Let me do this, and let's go to the phones in the front and say, hi, caller, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Chris.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
How are you? Hey, by the way, Abe Vigoda's dead.
Now, John says that because that was a thing back then. Someone
how long did it go on for?
It went on.
Years.
It went on for many, many years. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Very true.
There was a website, it says it's something about abevigoda.com, and it's only one line. It was like Abe Vigoda is, check live or dead. It was like two radio buttons, and the checkbox was alive until he died, and then it would change to dead.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That had to be the funniest, because he looked as old as dirt when he was on his Barney Miller.
He did, and I think when he started on Barney Miller, I think he was only like 47, some age like that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and he was, like you said, John, he looked like he was in his 80s then.
And the thing was, in the show, in Barney Miller, in like season 3, the big theme was, Fish had to retire. And it was mandatory retirement at 62. So
Right.
I'm older than he was then now, and yeah, we look vastly different. So anyway, that was that. So
Very true.
That
So how
was
you doing, John? What's going on?
not a heck of a lot. I missed calling in last Sunday because everybody and their brother kept calling my cell phone, and I'm like, ah. So
yeah, you missed a good show. Did you catch it? Did you catch the show on replay?
Of course.
Okay, good.
But no, I wanted to call in. I had on my to-do list to change the wipers on my wife's car.
Uh-huh. Good
And
idea.
for a guy with a heart condition, after I bought two wiper blades, I clutched my chest when the guy went, yeah, at $65.
Exactly.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That wasn't a piece, was it?
No, that's a pair. The wiper blades
a
are
pair.
typically $24 and up, depending on the size. So
Yes.
$60 is definitely seeable. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure she cleans them regularly, John. You want to make them last a little longer.
She doesn't clean the car. I'm the only one that takes care of it.
Well, then make sure you clean them regularly so they'll last a little longer, because they do get a lot of dirt, and just give them a quick little wipe with you don't even have to use an alcohol pad. You could use just a nice clean rag or a microfiber. Just wipe them down. It'll always come off black. Always.
Always.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. I use the purple cleaner,
Yeah.
and I'll take them off and grab a toothbrush and scrub all of the
Oh, wow.
stuff that gets. They last a lot longer.
Okay.
And
That's really going the extra mile.
That's not the toothbrush that you regularly use.
No, it's just
right?
wipes.
No,
Honey,
I
I'm
do that on
cleaning
every-
your wiper
I do
blades.
that on every car just to get all of the oils and stuff on the road that come up.
Yeah.
Even the windshield. Oh my God!
You know, it's funny, John. I'm gonna our next segment. I'm gonna tell a story about something that happened to me just like that this week in my wife's car, and the experience I had. So stay tuned. You'll hear that. It's gonna be it's a doozy. So
Yeah, I went. I mean, the blades are 28 inches each.
yeah, those are huge.
Right.
Those are
Sure.
huge.
Each.
Yeah, huge.
And my FJ there, 14 inches is one 16 and two 14s. There's three of them because the windshield is so small. So.
Yeah, but 14, you're halfway there.
I know yours is double the size. Well, I used to have that Pontiac. I had the Pontiac, the minivan, the dust.
Oh, the Dustbuster.
The Silhouette. No, it was an Oldsmobile. It was a Silhouette.
Oh, Silhouette.
It was the
Right.
old version. That had like 26-inch blades. And I used to watch those things go. It was like raptor wings. I'm like, whoa, man, huge.
The thing that scares the crap out of me is in the winter when she was going out to work. Don't clear the snow off the windshield.
And then
Just turn the wipers on.
right.
And
Yep.
Never a good idea.
Nope.
How much weight is the transmission
Right.
and the wiper motor pushing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the number one cause of wiper transmission and motor failure.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I can
Sure is.
believe it.
Yeah.
But
All right.
anyhow.
All right, well, thanks for that info.
When I heard fish, I was like, "Oh my God, that was too funny."
Oh, you'll hear it again. I'll play it on the break so people can get another new snootful. All right, John. Thanks for the call.
Have a great day, guys.
All right, John. So long.
Take care, John. Be safe.
All right, so I'll tell you a story here. I had
Talk to me.
I think I told you the story already, so you know it. I had to drop my wife and daughter off the airport the other day, and I had to go up to a wake. Our old co-host Joe D, his mom had passed, so she lived to 100, which is great. God bless.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, man, I got to go from Kennedy back to my house, and then wait a few hours, and then go up to Whitestone. That's gonna be afternoon traffic. So I reached out to Billy Velvet,
Right.
and asked him if he was home, if I could come and crash with him for a while. And he said, yeah, of course. So I get to the airport, and as I'm dropping them off, all of a sudden the cruise starts to give me like a little chuggle, like a little low RPM idle kind of as you're rolling forward off the brake, it was just like someone was pushing you. And I was like, what the heck is going on? That's weird. Now, and of course the check engine light comes on. So
Oh,
just
boy.
2 weeks ago, my daughter had the car out one night when it rained and came home and said, Dad, I got in the car and all of a sudden the check engine light was on and the traction control light was on, check engine light. Well, that one cleared itself. I thought it was a
Oh,
misfire. I don't know why, but that
right.
cleared itself. So now it's chugging. And as I'm leaving the airport, there's construction everywhere. So I'm smelling a slight odor of, like what New York City smells like. And I mean, now, not everybody will know this, but
It smelled like an old hot dog?
the boroughs, yeah. And well, I ended up taking the Van Wyck, I sat through all the traffic on the Van Wyck, but you smell that city kind of smell, that just kind of
Asphalt.
a muted smell, a little bit. And I thought maybe like a little bit of oil in there, because you're with cars and trucks and buses, and I call it the city smell. So I get to where I'm going. I get to, on the highway, the car was fine, but it was only when I was going slow would it give me that jerky feeling.
Right.
So we do what we're doing. Ended up doing Playing in Traffic from Bill's basement Thursday night. So if you want to see a different location, look up Playing in Traffic on YouTube, and you'll see me in my in a different look. And you see Bill's hands. He had the magic hands that would come in and hand me another drink. So I leave his house at 12 o'clock at midnight, and
Billy Velvet's magic hands.
right. So, of course, I leave his house at midnight. I hit the Cross Island because I want to avoid traffic at all costs.
Sure.
And all the way home, the car is running great. But I still smelled a little bit of like that funky smell, and like it was like an oil-based funky smell. And I'm like, wow, it really stuck this time. I have to change the cabin air filter. So I get home. I had to mail some letters. I pull over to the curb. I run out, drop the letters in the box, and I come back and look, and the front, I see the headlight of the Cruise. It looked like it was crying.
What?
And yeah, it looked like it was crying. I'm going to put these pictures up. You'll see them. You will see them on the post for this week. But it was crying something that looked kind of like a yellowy color. I'm like, what the heck would have like an eye infection? I don't know. Coming right up from the headlight and then down lower from the grill. And
Right.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
A yellow liquid,
Yellowy looking.
a yellow viscous
If you can
liquid.
see this. See that?
I see a little bit. Yeah, it's running down the corner of the headlight. Yes,
And over here and over there too by the
and
bottom.
over there. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Please watch this on YouTube. Don't listen to this on the radio.
Yeah, and I'll post it. And of course, under the hood, I get home and I open the hood and I have my light with me. Under the hood, that's with the hood raised. I see this.
Oh, so now you got like a splash of what looks like oil on the bottom of the hood.
Right.
What
Well,
in the world is that?
okay, Joe's thinking sulfur. No, Joe, you're not. I'll give you the answer right now. Before I left for the airport, I did a quick check. I checked the oil on the car. I
Right.
checked looked at the brake fluid. I looked at the coolant. I checked the air pressure on the tires. Forgot to put the oil cap back on the valve cover.
Oh no!
And the whole engine bay is bathed in engine oil. And that yellowy stuff is engine oil because it was still fairly clean.
Oh no!
Totally soaked. It was like someone spray bottled the whole engine compartment. So, and now now I'm going to actually interface with Blue Driver. That's one of the dongle apps that I use as a scanner.
Yeah.
And it gives you, and I had these weird codes. I had like a 1601.
Because now you don't have what was it? Crankcase pressure, right?
All of the codes it gave me were like vacuum related. They were talking
Right.
about a what do you call it? Well, it said basically PCV, which is in the valve cover.
Sure.
Not icy. It was a couple of them, and I'm thinking, wow. As I saw that, maybe there was a line off. No, it was because the valve cover was open. So literally, all I do is put that, and then I said, well, do I still have the cap, or did I lose it? Can I see if I can buy one? It literally had fallen just on top of some of the hoses in the engine. Now I drove like 60 something miles that first trip. The cap was still there, thank God. So,
Wow.
and now I'm thinking, okay, I'll get my Purple Power, my Simple Green, all my stuff, and hose it down. Like, I just last week took the garden hoses off and I blew compressed air through them to get all the water out so they don't freeze. Like, I don't want to set up the garden hose again. Like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'll go to the shop in Oceanside because there's a hose there. They use it all year, for cleaning cars. So I'll go do this job over there. And I did. Hosed it all down and just, wiped it, hosed it off and then just wiped down what I could. And I still get a little bit of a. I drove the car today. I have a little bit of a slight smell, but not
Yeah,
not
it's
big.
going to burn off.
And of course, the car now rides perfectly. You know,
Oh, of
the
course.
struggle is gone. Everything is fine. So that was my fall on the sword moment. I was
Wow.
telling Mike Jr. yesterday. I said, listen, I said, you know, you might wonder why I would tell you a story like this. I said, it's just a bonehead move of the week. I said, it's my bonehead move. I said,
It
and
happens.
I got to own it. I said,
Yeah.
I was afraid that I was going to lunch the motor. I said, well, then I'm going to be buying a new car. But now I'm thinking, well, how much oil did I actually lose?
How much did you lose? Do you know? I
I
mean, you
had
obviously know.
I had to add between. I'm using a big bottle, so I couldn't tell exactly. I had to add about a quart and a half, maybe to
Okay.
2 quarts tops, which is good. I mean, because most of the driving I did was on the highway at 60 miles an hour, so
Right.
it could have been worse. So
Oh, it could have been a lot worse. See, that's when I get a nice rag and I just start going around everything because that thin coat of oil, it will make everything shine. It's almost like a
yeah.
version of Armor All, and you've covered everything. It swipes off all the
Oh, the
dirt and all the
plastic looks
dust.
great. All the black paint.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah.
also attracts dust like you can't
Oh,
imagine. So,
definitely. But
so
yeah, it's
I'll follow up. I guess I'll probably wait till the spring, get a good can of gunk, engine cleaner, and follow up and,
right.
and see what it looks like. So yeah, we'll see what's going on.
Well, last week I was able to do a brake job on the Explorer. I wanted to put a set of rear brakes on. I want to do brakes all on all four corners, but I wanted to do the rears first. It was
Right.
stopping kind of funny. You know when you put your foot on the brake and it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like all four wheels are connecting.
Oh yeah.
And like we had discussed, I had to purchase two new calipers for the car because the
Right.
calipers were just gone. They were leaking and they were frozen. The rear calipers were truly just paperweights back there. So because I'm working in such confined space, I had to move the Chrysler out of the garage so I had enough room to work on the rear wheel of the Explorer. The Explorer was backed in. The Chrysler was driven in. So I had to back the Chrysler out so I can work in the back of the garage on the rear wheel of the Explorer. So I
Sure.
was able to do that. But on the other side, I was about, I would say, a foot and a half. I had about 18 inches between the rear wheel, the driver's wheel, and the shelving that I have there.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to move the truck because it was cold and Sunday night was I think there was a little precip if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was raining that day.
Right.
So I didn't want to put the car outside. I didn't want to put either the Explorer or the Chrysler outside. So I was able to do a brake job in a space about the width of a standard crowbar
Oh,
because
jeez.
the star bar, I guess you want to call it,
Yes.
the lug wrench. So I was able to get it on a lug nut and try and avoid my welding box that was sitting right on the shelf. That was the width I had to work with. So I actually worked in such a confined space that I know Billy Velvet would have been proud
Yeah. Yeah.
because I know he has confined space garage issues as well.
He does. He
But
does.
yeah, this was, I think, the least amount of space I've ever had to do anything. And working mostly standing up or kneeling, like I couldn't sit.
The good thing is with the brakes, at least you can get into the wheel well yourself, and there's some
Right.
space in there, especially on a bigger vehicle. So
Yeah.
you gain a
That
little
was
room.
that was my only saving grace
Right.
basically. But it was an interesting position because I had to jack the car up also, get the rear wheel off the
Yeah.
ground in that confined space as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've come to realize as long as you're patient, because you do a lot of shimmying
Yeah. Yeah.
between cars. That's all you're doing is just shimmying
That's what
between
happened when I
vehicles.
was, when I was down at my daughter's in her last house in North Carolina, and I was working on her Rav4 in her garage, and I only had a scissor jack. I didn't bring a floor jack with me that time, and
Ooh.
I had to work on get it up and get the wheels off in the garage. I had a little more space, but it was certainly tight and it was a
Mhm.
little precarious.
Yeah, I get it. I was working on the my newfangled pickup truck, but it was outside. I had to
Okay.
work on it outside, and I was not happy about it
Yeah.
because it was like a couple of weeks ago. I'm working on the truck, and of course I check the weather, and it's not going to rain, and then it starts raining.
Yeah.
And I have gotten to that point in my life where I don't want to work. I don't want to work on a car and have to think about weather. I
Right.
just don't want to do it.
I
I
agree.
got to that point. I just don't want to do it. And now the garage has got the Chrysler on one side and whatever sits on the other side. And now all of my vehicles are big. When I had the Tracker there, it
Right.
was fine. I
Right.
mean, leaving the Camry there, it's okay. But now if you put the Explorer in there, you are shimmying between, and it's a
Oh,
pain in the butt.
by the way, Al says, yeah, it's fun getting old, right? To me, Billy
Yeah.
says, welcome to the 20 by 10 foot garage club. And by the way, Dougie said you're out of the Tracker Club now. They kick you out. They want you to pay those membership dues, or you're still on the hook for what you owe them. And you may see that the Tracker posse come by to pick up the gelt if you don't submit it.
Tell Dougie I'm Dougie. I miss that Tracker. Right, I totally miss it.
Right. No, it's very true. It's it is tough working in tight spaces. It does require a different level of, I guess,
Yeah.
moral fortitude.
You
So
know, it's funny. It's funny about that Tracker. I saved that Tracker from the Crusher.
you did.
I did because nobody would have put the time and the effort into that vehicle that I did.
Right.
And now it's being used by someone else. They love it. Actually, I have to laugh because I know the person that's using it, and I always get rave reviews like, "Oh, what a great little car!" So you bet your butt it's a great little car.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We do have to end like an extra minute early take because there's a basketball game being played. So we'll take our bottom of the hour break. We come back. I have another issue, another interesting story that pertains to oil.
Did you
Actually,
fall
oil.
on the sword again?
Well, no, it's nothing I did wrong. It's just something that's curious. Oil filters, in fact, is what I want to talk about. I have a prop
All
in the
right.
studio. I'll show you. So
Props. We get props.
we do. We get props from ourselves.
Nice.
The weather today, which is your WHPC weather forecast, powered by something like that. Powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. As I look out the WHPC weather window right over there, I see today's partly cloudy, high of 44. It was 40 when it came in. Beautiful day, nice and sunny. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Continued lows 27. Yeah, it's been getting cold at night. The water I had out for the cat froze. So nice. Tomorrow, sun and clouds mixed stuff, high 31.
Proofread, my brother.
And tomorrow night, low of 18, which is going to be bleh. So
Yeah.
I'll do this read here. I'll tell you there's a brand new WHPC app. Have you checked out the new app? Well, you should if you shouldn't.
Right.
Download or upload it now to get closer to your favorite radio station. I get a notice on the app that the show is on, like in case I overslept. Right. Record a shout out. Hey, you can record a shout out that can be played back on air on the app, which is cool.
Wow. Keep it clean, folks.
Set the alarm clock to wake us. I'm sure we can edit it. That's okay. I'd rather hear the ones. I'd rather hear the ones that had to be edited, truthfully.
Right. They're the ones that talk about our show, I would assume.
Right. You can see a list of songs we've played, and you can enter to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Hot Wheels Monster Trucks live at the Nassau Coliseum on January 17th. Plus, enjoy WHPC in your car with our new CarPlay feature. It's all available for Apple and Android. Download or update the WHPC app now, and thank you for listening. With
There
that,
you go.
we
Yes.
move. Do we have an honor group of the hour this week?
Of course we do. The Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week is the My First Car Storytellers.
Oh, baby.
You know these people, those individuals that can describe their first ride in painful detail, despite the fact that it barely ran, smelled like gasoline, and also reeked of old cigarettes and other smelly things. It didn't matter if it was rusted, missing hubcaps, or required a prayer before starting. It was a potential freedom that 4 questionable tires can give you. So they'll swear it was the best car ever built, even though it stalled at every red light. And honestly, the stories are so vivid that they tell, we believe every word of it. So if your first car was so emotional it makes you openly weep, then you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour.
Yep, we've all heard those stories. We've all told them too.
And I think you still own your first car, don't you? Is that your first car or no?
No, it's not my first. I had a few before my Pontiac, but it's really it's not even the first one I had on the road. I had a bunch of I had cars when I was like 16. A woman gave me a 56 Chevy. I mean, I was like 15 or 16 years old. Like I couldn't even drive. And all I did was played with it in the garage and I took parts off it. I still have the parts.
Of course you do.
The car I don't have. But
of course you do. I'm sure you do. Yeah, my first car was a 63 Cadillac and I got it. My mom gave it to me. I was 13.
Nice.
She thought it would keep me out of trouble. She was wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll take our break. We'll hear a little bit more of the Fish theme because you can groove to this yourself if you really like it. It's a good one. And we will be back with more Motormouth Radio with Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino, right after this on 90.3 WHPC. Hit it, boys.
It's a call-studded program. We do have another caller on the line. Caller, identify yourself.
Anthony, I called those guys with the cars one time.
Oh, nice. The Motormouth guys.
Oh, yeah, those good old boys.
There you are. Anthony, where are you calling from?
I'm in Freeport. Yeah, this morning I miss it. My boss was, every time I turn it on, he turns it off. I say, whoa. Yo, you better, but I give him a karate chop.
That's right.
Give him a karate chop.
Give him that F5.
I love it.
Dude.
It's a pleasure, bro. Take it easy. That
was amazing.
My favorite caller
of all time.
Maybe all time. I have heard him with the Motormouth guys. That's why I recognize them a little.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar lifetime nationwide warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
no, you got the promo. The best one was the first one. That's why I was because you said, what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motormouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
Yeah, you might learn how to play a bass, a really cool bass. I don't know, but you have to watch more TV to do that, I think. We are back. Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Chris Switzer. We're here. We're talking stuff, and we're going to talk about some oil filters. This is an interesting thing, Chris.
Yes.
I like to keep a small supply of filters on hand, for when it's time to do an oil change on the car. This way I don't have to, you buy 2, use one, stick one in the cabinet.
And then you can't find it, so you go buy another one.
Well, actually, tell you the truth, Frank Dominiani, his son Joe, had given me one of the cabinets from High Speed many years ago, and I use that to keep stuff like that, and I keep my oil filters in there. So the one filter that I have a lot of trouble finding now, as you might imagine, is the filter from my Fiat Spider.
Yes.
Cars have been in production. You look up Fiat now, it comes up 500. So I want to show you something. I decided I needed to get a couple of filters because I only had one left.
Is that a cartridge filter? It's
No.
No.
I don't know if the size of this box is evident, but now this is a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine, right?
Right.
Not
So it's
big.
small.
Look at the filter. It is absolutely huge.
That's big.
It's huge.
That's big for the, yeah.
It's
For the,
So I searched online and through Amazon, filters came up for the Fiat, And it was a 4-pack for like, because these will go for like, $20 a piece, this big one.
Wow.
This was the replacement. Look at the size of the box.
What?
So, yeah, and just to make it clear, this is the filter they sent.
Right.
Look at the difference.
What?
Now, I will say,
both the circumference of them look the same.
that is right. The gasket and the thread is exactly the same, but the
Okay.
filter is
The filter itself.
like half the size.
One is like a soup can, the other one's like a garbage can.
And you can feel the weight. This one's like
Really?
2 times this Wix is like 2 times the. So I did go through. I drilled down and I found all the information on the filter, the bypass valve, blow off pressure, the burst pressure, all of that. Of course, the dimensions are obviously different.
Right.
Everything else lines up. So that does come back as a replacement filter. I'm going to take some pictures and send it over to Lake Speed and ask him what he thinks. So he's a tribologist. We've had him on the show.
Our resident tribologist.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll get him back on this show too. But I just want to see what he might have to think about that, because I always wondered, why did this small little 4-cylinder have such a huge oil filter on it? And I know that Chevys, because I have one of these at home, small block Chevys, you could buy a Fram filter, or you could buy the extended filter, gave you like an extra half a quart or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they had that. So, but all the filters I bought for this car, and even the one I had prior to this, used that big, huge oil filter. And I always wondered why. I don't know. So that's my oil filter conundrum.
It's funny, the oil filter I pulled off the Camry was about half the size of that small filter that you just held up. It was literally, it was so small.
Yeah.
And it came down, it fit in my hand, and I was almost able to close my hand.
I just did an oil change on the Mazda last week. I think it's a 3306. Again, very, very small. It's like the Fiat one. It's a little taller, but it's definitely, I use the smallest oil filter wrench that I have.
I'm sure.
The smallest oil filter wrench that I could get to get in there. So
Right.
so I don't know. It's kind of like I said, when I started doing research to see if it was available, what the specs were, I expected to see something totally way off, because these are made. Let me see if it's China or Taiwan. Even the part number is odd. It's
I'm sure.
EOF 28172-C. Yeah, made in China. And I mean, it's got all the information on the back. It shows you all the different stuff. It looks like a legit. And the company is called
A Premium.
That's correct. Yeah, A Premium. Did you see that, or do you know from?
No, I've seen the box. That black and orange is A Premium.
I found them everywhere. It's a bona fide brand, and they sell more than just oil filters. It's kind of like a Napa or something. So it is a legit company making a legit filter. And I don't know. I'm almost afraid to put it on the car.
Give it a shot. Here's the way I look at it. It doesn't matter, because you're going to change the oil in the filter in 3,000 miles anyway. So what real stress are you going to put this part under?
Yeah. Well, to blow the secret, the veil of the show, I just talked about this.
Again?
Yeah. I don't do regular oil changes anymore, because none of the cars get driven regularly enough that they go through the Cruise maybe is the only one that goes through like maybe a regular cycle. I just did the Mazda. The oil only had like 2,000 miles on it, but it was like done in November of 23.
I'm with you, my brother.
I don't drive it.
My Chrysler's the same way.
I literally just changed it as a matter of course, because you know why? I wanted to get the car in, rotate the tires, and do a brake fluid flush. That was my real reason. I wanted to just flush the brake fluid, and I didn't really care that much about the oil, but I did it. The Fiat, same thing. I only drive it really in the summer months, the warmer months. And again, it doesn't come up to that cycle. So, yeah. I checked the FJ yesterday because I used it, and I guess I'm getting up to like maybe 3,000 miles on a 4,000-mile change. I pulled the stick just to check it, because now after the cruise, I'm checking everybody's oil.
Right.
And the oil was still an amber color. I'm like, man, this stuff is not used at all. And even the cruise now, which is it's got to be over a year. Actually, no, it's coming up on a year, but I actually went over the mileage now. I had a 4,000-mile change set, and I'm a couple hundred over that. But I use the oil monitor in the car, so you can check it through. And it's telling me I still had like 47% life. And I've
Wow.
used the oil checker that we gotten years ago.
But I don't buy it. I would still change the oil in that car, even though it's telling you it's got 47%. I don't buy
Well,
that.
you know what? Between adding a quart the other day before I went to the airport and then putting another 2 quarts in when I got home, I did
Kinda
almost the whole oil change.
It's kind of
Kind of
changed.
did.
Yeah. But it's funny because oil companies and I'm sure people like Lake Speed will say oil gets old. And sitting in the crankcase, it ages, and that in turn would evoke a change as well. And I don't believe that either. I'm still like, okay, the oil's 2 years old, but I still fall under the dictum of mileage, whereupon age to me is like, okay, it's breaking down, but it's not the end of the world. Like, yeah, the oil in the Chrysler, I think, is probably pushing 2 years as well.
Well, that's the
But
thing.
if I have 200 miles on the car, it's a lot.
Well, that's the thing. We know what the patterns are and what the people say to do, and we know in the real world what we're actually doing. And now we get charged with the task of telling somebody else what to do, and we've kind of done that. But now in my own life, that's
We
kind
got
of
some pair. We're telling other people how to fix their own cars.
and it's kind of changed because now my own experience is showing me, hey, that ain't always the way, and I'm not seeing it. I haven't seen any failures on any cars unless I left the oil cap off. I haven't seen any issues. And I have to say, well, that's really at the bottom line. That's the end of the day. That's what's going on.
Do you remember who taught us? Who used to do the 24 hours of lemons?
Oh yeah. That was the guy that was out connected with Haggerty.
Right. We loved him, and it was a great guest on the program. And I can't remember his name right now to save my life. I can remember the open to fish, but I can't remember that.
Right.
But he had mentioned something about putting those cars through hell, because that was the endurance. It was 24 hours of driving a car and just beating the bejesus out of it and fixing it any way it can, because they were all junkers to begin with. And that was the fun of it, to see which car would endure such punishment. And
Right.
he made that statement that I stopped listening to my father's advice because my dad was telling me change it every 3,000 miles and do everything religiously, and you have to be on top of all of your maintenance at all times. When the cars can clearly put up with much more than or I should say much less maintenance than our dads required in their vehicles. And it was true. So what I've done is not that I've laxed much, but I guess maybe I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. Maybe it was just like, change it later. But yeah, I think I'm more along the lines of, since I'm still doing my own work and I'm still older now than I was then, I'm like a special guest star in my own garage nowadays.
Right.
I'm just like, I got to go work on the car. Where is the garage anyway? Oh, there it is. But my point is that cars can put up with more than you can go over, I guess, that 4,000 mile if you wish to. I try not to, but if I do, it's not the end of the world. It's one of those things like, all right, I'm a horrible father. What am I going to do?
It happens. Like you said,
I'm a horrible car owner.
We don't do that. We don't do the mileage anymore. Some people like Al, they're doing more mileage. They're going all over the country, all over the world, which is great.
Yeah, it's true.
That. But yeah, in my daily existence, no, and most stuff I do is kind of local. So, and the added fact of I have several cars to spread it over to, spread the driving over to. It just that's just a fact. That's just the way it is. So
totally get it.
Yeah,
hey, I got a question, totally unrelated.
You know what? If someone else has a question, they can call also at 516-572-7440. What's
the Camry?
Yeah.
When you turn on the air conditioner, all you get is the fan.
Okay.
That's all you get.
What more do you want?
Well, there's no compressor issue.
Okay.
The compressor doesn't go on. You don't get the fans. The cooling fans don't go on. You don't get nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a 2009. What's the chances of all the Freon to be gone from the system?
If there's a leak, it's good.
Yeah, but you would think the car was old lady owned. It was not damaged or or beaten up in any way, shape, or form, other than I'm sure that the worst damage this car has ever endured has involved a shopping cart.
I'll give you a case in point. My FJ last year, that car had the AC since I got it has been rock solid and perfect. Last year, it was kind of lukewarm. I had fan, but I didn't have AC. Went to the shop, and Mike Jr. looked at it and says, "You know what?" He put the gauges on it. Said, "Yeah, I'm not seeing a leak." He goes, we're going to change the O-rings on the valve." So I think I talked about this. He had bought a tool that you could put onto the AC line,
right?
And now you can block off the AC line, take the valve out, and then put a new one in, and then you don't lose anything, and you give it a quick recharge. It may just be that an O-ring failed, and these just failed over the from the course of 1 year to another on my FJ, and that was it. So it may not be a massive problem. It may not be like a condenser leak or anything. It may just be, that's the weak link in that system are the O-rings and the valves in the ports.
Okay.
So
no, that's a thought. So you're thinking it's going to be Freon. It's going to be a gas issue.
Well, I mean, if you put gauges on it, you'll see because you can read.
Yeah, and I do have the gauge. It's just a matter of spending the day to actually do it.
Well, the other thing is you could put get some soapy liquid mixture and spray it on there, and you'll see if there's pressure coming out, you're going to get bubbles all over the place.
Right.
And and they also have just so you know. I mean, there's the dye you could put in and you use a UV light, but they also have sniffer testers. It's a little device. When it gets near the Freon, it'll beep. It lets you know that there's a leak.
How's it beep again?
It's like beep. Actually, it's more. It's a higher pitch thing. I don't have that range. Sorry.
You can't do that unless you're in pain.
Yeah, no, that's going to sound a little totally different. So yeah, that's I would say. Again, easiest thing first. I wouldn't go too crazy.
Right. That's what I was hoping for because it's like I've been looking at the relays every once in a while. I'll just take the back of a screwdriver and buck, hit the top of a relay and see if that does anything. It doesn't. Well, but I just found it odd.
The thing to do is if the AC relay, if you can have someone else like throw the switch, you'll hear the relay click.
True.
You'll hear it, and if you're near, you can put your hand on it and feel it. That's
right. You feel the physical, magnetic.
But you got to remember, the compressor is not going to kick in and run if it's under pressure or over pressure because you have sensors in there to monitor.
But I mean, nothing is happening. Like I could understand if the cooling fans go on and the compressor isn't running, that would be a clue. Yeah. But I mean, nothing. It's just all you do is hear the fan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So.
Yeah.
516-572-7440. You could still text us. I got the phone here, 203-670-4127. You got two thumbs. You know how to use them. You know how to complain. And you know how to praise.
Right. And we're going to go to the phones and say hi, Cole. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, good afternoon, fellas.
What's up, Cliff?
Good.
What's up, Cliff?
To the AC talk, and I just had to replace the compressor on the 2018 tracks, and it was, but you could see it was leaking oil at the front of the compressor.
Okay, well that's the front seal, yeah.
Right.
And it was,
Right. That was a physical sign. You were able to see that. I'm not seeing any physical signs of anything, ahead of the firewall. So it's kind of funny that I could see that would be okay. Problem solved. Change the compressor. You see it leaking.
Yeah.
So okay, but on a 2018 Cliff that failed.
It had like 70,000 miles. So many things on that little Ecotech failed on me already.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of the plastic parts on the oil cooler where the filter attaches to sprung a leak, drip.
Yeah.
The piece where the top radiator hose goes into, that whole plastic kind of multi hose connector that goes into, I guess what's into the side of the head of the block, that cracked, had a leak. A lot of little plastic stuff.
I had trouble with the plastic stuff in the cooling system and the evap, and that's what I hate about that car. The engine's great, but all that the extemporaneous stuff is a nightmare. I hate it.
Yeah, it's just you say, and it's not that old. It doesn't have a ton of miles on it. Looks like it's in decent shape, and
right.
I think it came out of originally Delaware, so I'm sure it was like a lot of highway miles, but just these parts, and then when you go online to look into it, you'll go to all these forums, and they'll say, this is like such a popular, a common problem And
Right.
I always know it's very common when the regular parts guy has that part in stock.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Like, it's not like a dealer item or you got to,
Right.
oh, yeah, we got that. Send it over 15 minutes. It's like, okay.
Right.
They must do a lot of them.
No, you're right. That's very, very true. That's one good way of knowing. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Cool.
But,
totally get it.
all right, fellas.
All right, Cliff.
Hey, Rich, I'm taking a ride down to meet Paulie Windows at the point at the end of the Wanto, and we're going to cruise up to Captree.
Excellent. Have a good ride.
Nice.
All right.
All right, Cliff. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Be safe.
All right.
Show.
So long.
Great show.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
I had the same problem with the V6 on that Impala that I had, the 3800 V6.
Oh, yeah.
It had these two plastic elbows, coolant elbows. And when I went to go they had crumbled, literally busted and crumbled because the plastic just disintegrated. When I ordered the replacement parts, they showed up in metal.
Oh, nice.
They were, I guess, stainless, I guess it would be, with a finished O-ring around it. And it was just push it in, click, done.
Very nice.
That sort of thing. Just put the components back on. It didn't even have it wasn't bolted in or anything. It's with the components in place. It sat there and didn't move. So
nice.
it was easy. Just taking the parts apart and putting everything back together again.
Yeah,
swapping out those elbows.
You don't always get that. A lot of times, plastic for plastic, and I've had my share of that junk. So
yeah,
you
have to glue everything together, I'm sure.
Well, no, it's just plastic. It's just, and it fails, and it's I know they're saving weight, they're saving money probably, and the new plastics are phenomenal. This car actually has the PCV valve assembly in the valve cover, and I've changed it 3 times already because that throws you a wicked code. And the first one I got was a Dorman part. And within 6 months, it failed. I'm getting the codes again. So then I went to the dealer, and I
really,
and that one in another year or so, I had to get another one from the dealer. And the funny thing is, every time I looked, I take note of it. The part number changed by like 1 digit. They were modifying it because they had problems with the replacement parts.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, now the one I have on there that's been there for a couple of years already is like actually that one's okay. So now I'm just having other problems. Oil caps.
Yeah, I had a lift. Just talk about PCV. I popped the one off the truck. I do the usual, the old time mechanic routine. I shake it. You hear it rattling. Okay. I spray it with a little bit of cleaner, a little bit of upper intake manifold cleaner. Pss, 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 spray a little it. Shake it up. Then kind of blow into one side of it. Okay, I get air, flip it around, blow into the other side of it. Don't get air. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Slap it back in the car, done.
Right. What was I going to say? We're gonna try this.
Okay.
Let's go back to the phones and back to the fun and say hi. You're on the Motor Mouths, caller.
Yes. Hello, Ray. It's Bob from the Olds Club. How are you?
What's happening?
Hey, Bob.
Very good.
Hey, Chris. How's everybody?
Doing well. How are you?
All right, pretty good. I wouldn't have called so late. I was calling from my cell phone, and it really wasn't going through. So I had to flip back over to the landline.
Okay, and I'll tell you, no, we had a couple calls, so we couldn't, we actually had like 3 of them stacked up. We can't take them all at once. But we're on kind of short time, Bob, because we got to end a little early for this basketball game. So make your point, please.
Yes, quick question. Antifreeze.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, for the older cars. We have all the different colors now.
Right.
Sure.
And obviously, I want to say thanks, Ray, for all the help you've given me on the new minivan.
Oh, no problem.
But the old cars, the 50s and 60s, we always seem to use the blue-colored, old-style antifreeze you changed every 2 or 3 years.
That was green.
Oh, green. Well, that's it. Maybe I was colorblind.
Yeah,
That's why I was having a problem.
Rex Presto, and those were all like the regular greeny yellow color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So the new one now is more that yellow color.
Right.
Safe for those old cars.
Yeah. Anything that's a regular original formulation is absolutely fine for the old cars because it's all cast iron with a copper radiator. That's all formulated for that.
Great.
The foreign cars now have their own designation. Honda has one. Audi has, and they have their own. I'm not even sure. We've talked about that on a show before, and I would say on the Toyota uses their own, and I did go buy Toyota antifreeze to put in my daughter's RAV and my FJ. I don't know why. I just felt, what?
My Mazda too.
If they're speccing it, we should use it.
Yeah. Yep. I still have a couple of gallons of antifreeze for the Mazda sitting on my shelf as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I know you were talking about, oil changes and keeping oil for a long time. We seem to do the same with the antifreeze.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of the old stuff and I have to flip to the new stuff now
right.
for the old Buick and the Oldsmobile and so forth. But, hey, I'm not going to hold you.
Well, let me ask you, did you get the lug nuts for the van?
Yes, I got the lug nuts. I just got them. I've got a check.
Okay.
I'm going to go out in a few minutes and try one, make sure I ordered the right ones because there's 2 or 3 different choices when you get online. Yeah, so that was a very strange thing.
Your lug nuts, the thread is 12 by 1.5 millimeters. If they did give you something, sometimes it's actually written on the nut.
Yes.
It should be 12 by 1.5, and the configuration of the lug nut isn't as important. Sometimes they're deeper or a little shallower. That's not as important as long as the seating surface is the same and the thread, and they should be torqued on that vehicle. Yours,
I think it was 105 foot-pounds.
Yours is up to 105. If you need a hand with that, we can certainly knock it out, Bob. Not a problem.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I can't get that much pressure on it.
Okay, not a problem.
All right, thanks. I'll let you guys go. Thank you.
All right, Bob.
All right, talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, Bob.
Yes, like I said, Bob had got that minivan as a replacement, and we needed to actually I need to talk to him about a minivan that's at the shop he wanted to talk about.
So 105 foot-pounds is about.
Well, yeah, on a torque wrench, it's still with that on a torque wrench. The thing is, we had his car in the shop. The problem was, like I talked about, we couldn't get a lot of the lug nuts off. I didn't have a socket because those are the steel nuts with those stainless steel caps that end up swelling, and you either pound on the socket or you buy, now I need to get from Brian, the half-size sockets. And, and that's what's used to get those nuts off, because when they swell, that's it. You're done.
See, I have a full set of half-size sockets. They're called metric.
Well, even the metric didn't work. You had to bang that on, so that didn't work either. So we are at the end, friends. We're going to get out of here. And Chris, I will see you next week. What do we tell the people? Hey.
tell the people we lost the co-host. we always tell people at the end of every show.
Yeah, don't watch Ghost.
Don't follow us home unless you have a set of half-size metric SAE sockets.
Exactly. So for Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, we'll be back next week with more Motormouth Radio on 90.3 WHPC. See ya.
See you, bye.
From the Atlantic seaboard to the Gulf, of all the wagons, it's gotta be the most. All the guys working really great, from Clouds to Woody, they drive me mad. My little stick nomad. Big stick on the common with an overdrive.